Hello there, mortgage coaches. My name is Bryan Mehring. I'm one of the national trainers here at Mortgage Coach. And as you are most likely aware, our CEO, Dave Savage, recently interviewed Bill Hart. And in this particular call, three big ideas for April 2017, Bill Hart introduced or shared with us Larry Kendall's information about the dual market concept. So what I did is, started thinking about how can Mortgage Coach help those people that are sellers in the buyer side of the dual market. In other words, those sellers that have homes for sale that are in the upper end of that price range. And in this particular call, Bill referenced a specific area, Fort Collins, Colorado, and he indicated that it becomes a buyer's market at about the $800,000 price point. So I just quickly jumped on Zillow and did a quick search, and there were several different properties in that particular price point. You can see them here, and I specifically went to those properties that were on the market a good amount of time, and I zeroed in on this particular one right here. So what I did is I took the data from this particular presentation and built what's called a seller buy down presentation. And some of you may be familiar with the seller buy down presentation within Mortgage Coach. Take a look at it here, and you can see again, this is the property that I referenced. You can see that it's a co-branded presentation. Your information as the originator appears here in the bottom left. Your realtor partner's information appears here in the bottom right. And the concept behind the seller buy down presentation is it gives the seller and the seller's agent an opportunity to draw buyers that are potentially in that very competitive market at that lower price point up to their price point in their market. So it gives them the opportunity to create more activity at their particular price point and potentially not have the home sit on the market for that 21-month period that was referenced in this particular call. Now, the way that it works is that a traditional buyer would come in, get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at a price point of $950,000, 20% down payment. They get the rate at 4.5%. That basically equates to a monthly payment, principal and interest of $3,851. So if the seller, had to reduce the price by say $20,000 to generate a little bit more activity, the net effect to a potential home buyer in reducing the price by $20,000 is a new monthly payment, principal and interest of $3,770, which equates to about an $81 a month savings. So $20,000 out of the seller's pocket gives the buyer a payment reduction in the amount of $81. I mean, it's okay, but this particular solution is better. If you take a look here with the rate reduction, where the seller then would contribute $20,000 towards buying down the rate. And in this example, the $20,000 was used to buy the rate down from 4.5% to 3.99%. Well, what impact does that have on the buyer's monthly payment? You can see it reduces the buyer's payment from $3,851 to $3,624, which is a savings to the buyer of $227 a month. Now, for the seller to provide the buyer with that same monthly payment reduction of $227, the same monthly payment of $3,624, they would actually have to reduce the price of the home all the way down to under $900,000, under $895,000 to be exact, and it's a $55,000 price reduction to get that same payment. That is, if they use the buy down with the cost to them out of their pocket of $20,000 to get that rate at 3.99%, you can see that it's going to allow the seller an opportunity to save $35,000 It's going to allow the buyer to purchase a home that's valued at $950,000, but actually buying or having a mortgage payment that's tied to a purchase price of $895,000. And I further took that information and built a total cost analysis presentation so you could really drive across the point that as a buyer, purchasing this home at $950,000 with the rate reduction of a half a point or more to get that rate at $399, well, this is your monthly payment. It's actually as if you were buying the home at $895,000 at the traditional rate of 4.5%. So you're getting a home that's valued at $950,000 actually for $895,000. And you're going to build more net worth over the next 15 years as well. If you take a look at the long-term analysis area here, you're going to accumulate over $60,000 more in using this particular strategy rather than, buying it for $950,000 and the 4.5%. So it's a huge win all the way around. The seller is able to generate more activity. So if the seller's listing agent markets the home appropriately, they're going to be able to drive buyers that might be in that very competitive price range to a higher price point, but actually purchasing a home as if it were $895,000 rather than $950,000. So it's going to be a win for the buyer. They get to get out of that very competitive price market. The seller has another way of generating activity, and by the way, it's going to cost them less rather than having $55,000 come out of their pocket, as you saw in the seller buy down example. They're having $20,000 come out of their pocket to achieve the same goal. The listing agent, again, has the opportunity to get that house off the market much more quickly. And then you as a mortgage professional get the opportunity, you're presenting this idea, you get the opportunity to potentially do the financing for this particular home. So it's an opportunity, again, to piggyback off the dual market concept. Hope this helps you out. Have a great day.